To battle, Packmates, and welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command, Orion Pirates. I am Rear Admiral Tirok of the Dreadnought Whitefire. As we continue our campaign against the Lyran Star League, and we're actually making pretty good progress here. We've cut about a third of the enemy empire in half. I think the fraction... No, the fraction doesn't quite work there, but we've taken about a third of the enemy empire out. So things going okay. Whitefire still doing quite well. We're currently saving up probably for a BBT so that we can pick up all that battleship firepower and toss a couple of pseudo-frigates on top of it. Pseudo-frigates can be okay in a pinch, although we've only just recently gotten the first sort of era of pseudo-fighters that is, well, at all useful. The PFEs finally having expanding sphere generators on them, which can be an interesting combination. Anyway, let us set out into space and try and capture this next planet. We may be able to pull it off in a single day. Except it's the homeworld, so probably not. Okay, so we're running into the Merak homeworld here. That is an interesting way to begin things. So, red alert, increase that speed. Pop over here, make sure we do not forget that wild weasel. It probably won't be super important, but you never know. In a pinch, could be the difference between life and or death. So let's also prop up that forward shield since our mauler is already fully charged from the battery. We'll come in here and cycle that, make sure it doesn't get discharged to feed that hungry shield. And we are escorted today by the IKV Sword of Kahless and the Merciless. I think Sword of Kahless, much better name. It is in MDW, was it? I think that's what I saw. FDW, not MDW. So it's not a mauler. It's a, well, destroyer, I think? Yeah, it's definitely a destroyer. It's the triple, yeah, it's the triple nacelle D5. Gotcha. And a C8, of course, being a dreadnought of a form. One of the smaller ones, so not a huge amount of support from that. But still, Klingon dreadnoughts are quite nice. And it has, 6 missile launchers, at least 6 disruptors. Currently squaring off against a dreadnought, and a planet. The planet is a PL3 battle something. I'm assuming the planet's name is Battle Axe. This is a DNLR, this is a DNRM, so you are the dangerous one, you not so much. So we're going to pull off to port, increase our speed, start getting that speed going. It does take us quite forever to accelerate to any kind of speed whatsoever. And I think if we hang close to the Merciless, the Sword of Kahless might be able to take this dreadnought. Probably not, it is only an FDW. So, yeah, that might be a bit of a tall order. But really, this DNRM is probably the biggest threat we've got to worry about right now. He will have a MIRV launcher. That alone is dangerous. And DNLs tend to be a little bit lighter armed. I'm willing to bet that the L has probably 6 missiles, I would guess. And this dreadnought probably will have, I'm going to guess, a fire rate of 11 missiles per turn with that MIRV. It may be a little bit higher, but I am going to assume it's going to be that 11. So, 2, 4... It's only 10. Really? So you must be a fairly old dreadnought. I mean, we know it's a fairly old dreadnought. It's just a DNR. But still, that's actually a kind of sad throwaway. Well, for a Merak ship, anyway. So things not quite as bad as I had assumed. Our phasers should be able to take care of all of that, even without, extra equipment. Second scatter pack's ready. We're not going to prep another one. We're just going to continue to drive on in. The DNL is equipped with 6 missile launchers. One of them's a quick rack, so it should be able to spit out missiles every half a turn. But the other ones are all just extended magazines. Set our expanding sphere generator down to the minimum zone. We're also going to take an opportunity to launch both pseudo-frigates in the defensive mode. Get them sort of established as our point defense, kind of. Are you? Yeah, you're probably the Wild Weasel. We're going to focus on Hero's Blood. Going to make that our primary target. And let's get ready to rip him apart. So we are within mauler range. Maul it open. We took out the wrong shield, unfortunately. 1, disruptors. 3s, activate full power. And let the phasers handle his entire salvo. Ooh, we've taken out 3 of his 6 shields. Just pretty much in one go. If we could turn this away from him, we might be able to preserve the forward shield. I would... Oh! Wow, Weasel! Ow! Just in time. So we almost lost that port rear shield. I think we did lose the port forward. Yeah, we lost a port forward shield, but we did manage to absorb quite a bit of that on a side that we didn't much care about. A lot more incoming missile fire. Let's get some defensive tractors going. Unfortunately, we were a little bit slow on that. We've taken some pretty nasty damage we probably didn't have to take if we were a little bit more on the ball with those things. So, point defense systems are handling the incoming missile fire, although I would like to get out from underneath the thumb here. Let's go shield reinforcement to 360, and we're going to pull out of this fight. And if we can do a little bit of damage to the rear of the Deadlands, that'd be great. Let's kick on the ESG and pick up a little bit of speed so that we catch up to him. I don't want him to get quite away. Really? That was a dick move. So we need to just get a little bit closer, and there we go. Deadlands ought to be mostly taken care of at this point. Can't pull off in that direction. Crap, we don't have much of a choice anymore. Lash out with a little bit of phaser firepower and come off in this direction. Let's get on this repair work, because there's a lot of stuff broken on the ship right now. Phaser, no, ESGs take bloody forever to fix. So, yeah, we'll patch all the phasers. Can we not get all the phasers in here? Did we activate that? No, it's one of our pseudo-fighters. It's like, really, did we just... And there it goes, proving that pseudo-fighters are excellent. Well, not nearly as good as the amazing ones that the Gorn get their hands on, but, you know, 2 expanding sphere generators just sort of mess around with the fight. They're providing a nice little barrier cap, which I think is quite... It would be really interesting if you could actually sort of deflect other enemy fire with an ESG. And then you could really set your pseudo-fighters up as sort of like an exterior shield defense system. Oh, that'd be lovely. How are we doing on the reinforcing? We don't really have enough power to reinforce anything. Let's drop in speed. We are... Wow, I just realized that we are like 10 points of power down from full power. Engage with long-range disruptors. Any hit is going to be a decent hit, actually. I think they did 4 damage on that hit. That was pretty nice. Yeah, so we're just going to stay sort of at range, recover a little bit, repair all of the systems, because, yeah, there's a lot that needs to get done on this ship. We're going to patch up our broken disruptor, and then finally we'll get around to fixing the ESG. ESG is the least important, mostly because, well, yeah, mostly because it just takes so long. I mean, we'd like to be able to fix it more often, but it's a huge time sink. Knocked out his shields once again. Disruptor's excellent for this sort of light skirmishing work. They do it very, very well. How's the Mauler coming? 28 points of power. That is not bad at all. In fact, I'm going to take a Mauler shot here. Actually, we'll slow down a little bit more and make sure that we get as much power out of this Mauler as we can. We'll continue the engagement with disruptors, but if I can get a full power Mauler shot on that, that'll probably kill him. And it's always nice when your Mauler can be the thing that's responsible for murdering him. Although if we want to do it, we got to fire before those missiles get there, so... That's what we wanted. We wanted credit for it. And we got it. Let's set a probe this way. I don't think this has any defenses. I didn't see, like, PLPH, which, you know, phaser planets and that. Let's call both of you guys back home. It looks like you didn't take any damage, a little bit of light shield damage, but you have enough shielding in order to handle that kind of damage. I really got to figure out how much shielding these PFEs actually have. Because it's not, like, staggeringly significant, but it's enough. So he's only armed with a couple of light phaser throughs. So as long as we stick outside of a range of, I think it's 3.99, we're absolutely fine. We'll increase the speed of time and increase the speed of the vessel. Because why not? And yeah, it's taking forever to fix disruptors. It'll take even longer to fix an ESG. I don't know if it bases it on like the power of the module, or if like each specific model has its own general repair time. How's the Mauler charge coming? 42 points of power. Yeah, it looks like the Mauler took some pretty nasty damage, because it is now 6 points of power down from where it could be. And it doesn't appear that we can actually repair the Mauler. So that's not fantastic. Maybe it's based on all of our heavy weapons. It's not really clear, and I don't really care. So, start maximum range bombardment. Planets should be super easy to hit. Like, I understand we're like targeting specific defense sites, but, you know, it would be nice if we got a buffed accuracy when shooting at planets. Slow down to normal time. Continue to engage with the disruptors. Blinking away. 6 damage there. The phasers ought to be able to fully handle that entire missile salvo. So, yeah. And because I think our ESG is at full, or not our ESG, our Mauler's at full power, we'll reinforce the forward shields to as good as we can make it work. Oh crap, we are going quite fast into the planet. All stop please. Whew, okay. Let's get to work. Mauler, disruptors. Nope, disruptors fire. There we go. Phasers fire. No point in using the ESGs. The maximum go out is to a range of 3, and we are just beyond that. And we almost hit the planet. That would have been bad. It's a good thing we were sort of paying attention to what was going on. Also, we'll take the shield reinforcement offline so we can get this Mauler firing as rapidly as possible. Can't actually break planets, but you can try. Yeah, well, it won't accomplish anything to try, but, you know. Another 16 damage. Was that seriously? Oh yeah, we didn't really charge up the Mauler, did we? How are you doing on Marines? You're down to 8, so we're almost ready to open you up. Disruptors, phasers, Mauler charge is at full power. Beam over Marines. Homeworld captured. I mean, it won't actually capture the homeworld for it, but you know, homeworld successfully subdued once. Not twice, just the one. So everybody is off the planet. We're just waiting for them to fully establish control. Homeworld taken. With 4 Marines. Well, 20 guys, because technically each boarding party consists of about 5 beings. So 20 people secured the entire Merak homeworld, which was only armed with, you know, phaser 3s. 670 prestige. Very nice. That puts us at 5993. Starting to get up there in cash amounts. Patch up the vessel. We are going to need quite a few spare parts for that. Give me a bunch more Marines, because we used them. Our pseudo-fighters are fine. Yeah, we can't. There's no upgrade for them right now. And shuttles are shuttles. So pop off that so make sure that resets that. I don't want to accidentally buy a crappier pseudo-fighter. Because, yeah, they were expensive. And back to the map and back to the conflict. We want to keep the pressure going on this homeworld. Another homeworld assault. Why not? Watch, this ends up being like the greatest mistake we have ever made. So another attack on the homeworld. We are escorted today by, after we prep a Wild Weasel, because that takes time, the IKV Death Slayer, which is a destroyer, and the IKV Dual Slayer. So the Twin Slayers, both are destroyers, currently squaring off against a heavy cruiser and a planet. What kind of planet do you say? It is PL-16, and as soon as the faster capacitor is charged, we will launch the probe. In the meantime, let us forward shields to the max. Cycle our battery so that it doesn't accidentally discharge things that we don't want it to. And we're good. Let's pick up some speed and get ready to do the war. Set a probe. It will pass by this heavy cruiser. There's a second heavy cruiser, so we do know that. That's important information to know. And this heavy cruiser is a carrier. We can tell by the hull form. Because, yeah, Merak carriers look like this. They've got that whole sort of catamaran thing going. And then the planet itself is armed with a grand total of... we should know any second. Another 10 marks, I think? Just with phaser 3s. Okay, so pretty much ignorable. You are also a carrier, it would appear. You are a CVSR, and you are a CVD. So I'm going to assume... you weren't that heavily armored. Which, take a look at the actual ship, see if we can get an idea. No, they appear to be identical. Interesting problem. We'll focus on the one in front of us, just because, well, it's in front of us. Spanish for generators, set the radius to 2. We're going to basically try and just flood him out with his ability to kill us with fighters. Most of our power is going to go into the Mauler to deal our initial overrun of damage. So we'll keep that in mind. Let's also try and be fast on the switch, because if we're not, these fighters will deal a lot of damage. They're only Vizslas, they're not like the enhanced ones, and at some point I will go in and see if I can't like find each file and improve each carrier. But until that happens, we're stuck with what we got. Ooh, that's an interesting problem. So we'll hit the carrier before we hit the fighters. Turn that on. Fire the Mauler. Disruptors. And now phasers. Oh. That was accidental. So we meant to turn all of our expanding shore generators onto the enemy fighters, but the enemy carrier flew in to try and, like, save the fighters and blew itself up. So that was a thing. Looks like the Merak fighters are proving to be much better than the K-Swifts of the Klingons, and we are currently doing a little bit of a donut because we have a lot of recharging to do. It does look like the Knife Dance, the enemy carrier that has decided to fight us, has picked us out as a target. It's going to take quite a while for this Mauler to be ready to fight. Though our ESGs should get on power very shortly, so we're going to make this a nice tight fist and bash through his front door. ESGs are charged and recycled, so let's rock. Full power on the ESGs, all weapons select, blast them open, 165 damage done right there, and the only thing we took out was 2 disruptors, 2 phaser 3s, a missile launcher, and a single point defense system. This could hurt. Drop another mine. Although luckily the Klingon fighters got shot at before we did, so we may be in a decent position to go after these, and we are going to turn after them. We're going to dogfight with fighters in our Dreadnought, because I think we've managed to deal enough damage to the... Yeah, it's at 1.5 speed. Wow, the Knife Dance just absolutely got mauled. Haha. Actually, no pun. I didn't actually plan on that pun. By all the Klingons. And engage with all the phasers. More phasers, if you have them. Come on. Kill. Just destruction. No, it looks like it's going to get home just in time to be killed. Will these missiles do it? Entirely possible. I would even say likely. Yep, they did. So on to the planet, where, you know, the real war is fought. And it has no defenses. It only has basically a couple of phaser 3s, which as long as we stay at long enough range, it doesn't matter. And other than that, no shielding. So yeah, this ought to be pretty easy. Just mopping up. So 2 strikes on the homeworld itself for homeworld assaults, and both times they really couldn't muster much of an assault force. I don't know if that's because they dumped most of their points trying to hold us off at those 2 shipyards in the other episode. I mean, we did run into a couple of dreadnoughts a few times, but I would have assumed, you know, the homeworld a little bit better defenses. Guess not. Although perhaps the shipyards were more important in the grand scheme of things. So starting to close in on the planet. Hopefully we won't kill ourselves on it. That would be bad and embarrassing. So we'll start slowing down now. And disruptors fire. Just some long-range disruptor skirmishing. Eventually we will knock the planet down into little tiny pieces. Still not quite in Mauler range, so we have to hold off on that. 10. Although we can just keep shelling away with disruptors. Let's slow down a bit more. And the range we're going to close to, of course, is going to be 5.99. 1, it's in transporter range, and 2, it's in Mauler double fire range. And stop. Okay. So, Mauler, engage with maximum firepower. Oh, nope, don't do that. Don't need to do that. Disruptors, phasers. And how are you doing on Marines? Because we are steadily bashing down your front door. Oh, wow, that Mauler charge is quick. Still 6 Marines on the planet. Although we did cut them in half by using that single shot. So, that was not much of a wasted blast. And it looks like the all the phasers are down. Well, we didn't want to do that. There was no point in doing that. Down to 2. Beam over the Marines. Planet is ours. There will be no stopping us in our glorious charge. So wait for the Marines to finish mopping up the resistance. And grabbing the homeworld for a second time. Not bad work. Let's see how much prestige we made for that. A grand total of... Come on, show us, game. Don't leave us hanging. Another 670 prestige. We are at 6484. And the tile is neutral. Ho ho ho. Nice. Pop back here. Check the supplies. And, yeah, we're just going to go right for it. Please be another homeworld assault. This is actually going to bring us a little bit close to the edge of the episode, so let's try and knock through this fast. Red alert, increase the speed of the vessel. We are escorted by a C-10. Holy crap. So, prep a Wild Weasel. We are escorted by 2 C-10s. Who are we squaring off against? The enemy is a dreadnought and a planet. What kind of planet do you say? A PL-1. It's the Beast Tamer. And the Demon Slayer, a C-10, and the Dare Slayer. So again, 2 Slayers along with us, and they are quite large. Probe is not yet ready, so now probe is ready. Let's increase the speed a little bit. We'll come over here, shields to forward, reinforcement at maximum power. Check you. You're just a heavy cruiser, so you're probably... Are you a carrier? No, you're actually a heavy cruiser. You, on the other hand, are the Wind Chime. You are a heavy dreadnought, and the planet is equipped with a grand total of nothing but a couple of light phasers. Got it. Okay, game. That's very interesting of you. Prep a second Wild Weasel, but it is just a DNH. It's no DNHM, so it doesn't even have a MERV upgrade. Let's launch the fighters in a defensive form, because, you know, that's useful. The forward shield is reinforced. The expanding sphere generator we're going to set to 0, because you should have fighters. I think you'll have 2 of them. But then again, you are just a stock DNH. You may not have any fighters at all. If that's the case, we'll be able to just battering ram everything we can into his front. So this is a heavy battle cruiser, BCH. So he'll be decent, but we've got 2 C-10 battleships on our side. So we shouldn't have too much of a problem knocking our way through this battle. A little bit closer. A little closer. So he has no fighters. Prepare the blow him open. Oh, that was the wrong thing to blow open. Open select. Engage with maximum weapons firepower. And our ESG is kicking on right now. And doing a ton of damage, getting through. And go this direction. Let him slam into that mine and take the 10 damage. We lost one of our phaser 3s, and I think we might be down a point of power. Not really clear. Let's go phaser, or shield reinforcement to 360. And we've got a clear and open shot into his side if we can just work around this one shield. So most of his systems are offline. He's doing a speed of 1.3, which is great. For us, anyway. Not so much for him. And we have some incoming missiles, but I think we're mostly covered. Just keep plinking away with all our weapons. Don't quite have a shot on that there. So we're going to pull away a little bit. These missiles ought to do it. Yep, they did. The Wind Chime is down. So the enemy heavy dreadnought, now we're just down to a battlecruiser. The battlecruiser is equipped with extended magazines, the G-Rack, whatever that is, and the Cs, which are the heavy, or the swift fire ones. Let's patch his phaser 3. They don't take long to fix, and they can be surprisingly effective. He's got a lot of phaser firepower that he's just dumping into our ship. Phasers, return the favor. A couple of good hits in there, and I don't know who those missiles are going for. They went for one of these guys, so they were able to make use of their, other systems. Let's kick on the ESG, and I think that, it won't be a death blow, but it would be cute if it was. We'll open the shield so that the ESG hits him head on. That dealt 87 damage. A little bit more being dealt by the fighters dishing out their payload. And he is mostly dead at this point. There he goes. Enemy destroyed. Let's call the pseudo-fighters back. I mean, no sense in leaving them outside to be risked. If we can click this shield button. 1 return, 2 return. And increase the speed of time. This may be the first time, or maybe the second time, because I'm not quite sure how it worked out in the Klingon campaign, that we basically took the homeworld sector only by doing homeworld assaults. Which I view as a very positive thing. I mean, it is more, dramatically interesting. Take the time to shut off that shield reinforcement. So we charge our Mauler, our beautiful, wonderful, powerful Mauler. Unfortunately, we are also taking quite a bit of power to charge other things, so the Mauler is taking quite some time. And, yep, we are steadily dropping down in that. Let's also take a moment. We forgot to do this. Cycle that so it doesn't discharge. Not that it's going to. We're not fighting anything anymore. I mean, sure, we're technically fighting the planet, but who cares? This planet will not be able to hold off against us. Looks like one of our PFEs still hasn't docked. Really? Maybe he did. Let's keep an eye on this so that we don't smash into the planet. That would be very, very bad. So one's continue disruptor fire just steadily into the planet. Start to slow down because we don't want to hit it. Hitting it would be bad, especially now that we, the tile is neutral, so this victory will secure us the planet. Also, that was a very quick victory over a planet. I mean, look at that. We're only 5 minutes into this mission. Oh, that works out beautiful. So, 1, continue disruptor engagement. We just need to get a little bit closer before we can start engaging with everything. So, disruptors not yet charged, phasers not yet charged. Let's pull down to a stop. All weapons, fire. Set the ESG to a maximum range. I don't know if that'll help at all, but as long as we stay out here, you shouldn't be able to do anything to us. Okay, so we're going to get even closer, so our ESG can do something. Because it looks like all of his phasers are offline. Yes, the planet is called the Beast Hunter. I thought it was the Beast Tamer, but Hunter is just as well, sort of, I guess. How's the cannon going? Almost fully charged. All up in select. Beam over all the people. Fire all the heavy weapons. Hit them with, you know, the ESGs too. And wait for the planet to be taken. And, come on, you can do it. There we go. Homeworld captured for the 3rd time in a row. But this time, it'll stick. And we've managed to cut the heart out of the Lyran Star League. The very home of these evil cat people themselves. 670 prestige for our trouble. That puts us at 7154. And the homeworld taken. All the rest of the Empire will fall shortly. There's probably 1, maybe 2 more planets and a whole host of stations. But that's going to wrap it up for today's episode. We have successfully grabbed the Lyran homeworld at 9-1. And the rest of the Empire shall fall. I've been Tirak. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to receive a notification every time I release one of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next episode.